Give you an update on the first book in this video. I started Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. It's the second book after Six of Crows, and I'm on page 127. Honestly, I feel like I haven't read a ton and I'm like already 100 pages in. So I feel like it's been pretty fast and I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably just gonna read more tonight and hopefully finish this weekend. It's currently Friday. I'm so excited to read just all the books in this video. I just love these characters and I'm loving this book so much. I'm scared of where we're gonna go from here, but it's just so good. I feel like I'm always on the edge of my seat, like always waiting for something to happen. I'm on page 127.
And you love it.
Mm-hmm. Saturday and I'm currently exporting a video, so that's why it sounds like my computer is exploding. But I'm on page 186 of Crooked Kingdom and I'm really enjoying it. I am honestly, like, I'm so scared of what's gonna happen in this book that I'm just like ready for it to be over so I can like breathe again. I don't know. Like I read a romance in between Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom just to like have like a wholesome time where I'm not stressed. Like these books I feel like are really okay. You're very much on the edge of your seat and I'm scared. Also, I don't think I mentioned in my last vlog, there is like tiny bits of romance in these books, like very much a mini subplot in these books, but the basis is the like fantasy plot, but it's so good. That's my update. I'm gonna read a good bit today. I'm hoping I can finish. Do we think I can finish this book today? Man, Lily, are you okay? So it is the next day and I have been really bad about vlogging or filming for this reading vlog. So we're gonna get better at it now. But honestly, I feel like I didn't have much to say about the book I was reading because I couldn't say anything without spoiling anything. Anyways, I finished Crooked Kingdom and you saw the last clip of me bawling my eyes out at the end. And it was so good. This will definitely be like a favorite fantasy series of all time. It was so good. Like usually I feel like in these scenarios where there's like 2 books or more than 1 book, 3 books, whatever, both of them aren't usually 5 stars. Like one's like a 4.5, the other one's a 5. Literally both of these books were 5 stars. They were so good. Like you're on the edge of your seat the entire time. The romance is very much a subplot, but when you get it, it's so special and sweet. I just loved it so much. Like this is definitely a fantasy where if you took out the romance, there's still very much a fantasy plot. It's basically both books is a fantasy plot, but there's a nice romance subplot and it's just so good. The found family in this, like it's literally like I love these characters with everything in me and I loved this book so much. The plot is just so interesting all the way through. I didn't want to put it down. I finished it basically, like most of it yesterday. I was on page like 100 and something and it's over 500 pages and I finished it yesterday because I could not put it down. It was so good. So I highly recommend the Six of Crows Crooked Kingdom duology. It is incredible. I didn't read Shadow and Bone before and I enjoyed it. I did understand it. There's also a couple books, King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. That come after this. They're like in the same universe.
Reverse.
Yeah, I really want to read those because Ethan really enjoys them, my husband. So I want to watch Shadow and Bone the show, but I'm kind of scared because, well, not scared. Well, it's definitely like different than the books, but I just want to see some of these characters in the show. So I might just like skip around. Anywho's, finished this last night. It was so good. Like please go read these, so good. And then I started reading another book today called Easiest Pie by Corinna Taylor. This is an arc. It comes out September 28th and it's basically like a fall series set in the same town. So basically there's like 7 different authors. They're all coming out with a book, 1 each week for like 7 weeks in this town called Harvest Hollow, and like they just write different stories in this small town. And so I read one, Can't Help Falling by Courtney Walsh, And now I'm reading another Easiest Pie by Corinne Taylor. These are, I think, all closed door, which is really great. And I think this one's pretty short. This one's like 200 pages, I think. Anyway, so I'm currently 25% through the book. So I have, well, actually I feel like I haven't read very much. I read like 11% and then fell asleep, took a nap, a Sunday nap. And I'm going to hopefully finish this today because I want to finish it before I film my fall book recs video. But I'm going to try to vlog my thoughts. So far, I'm not loving it, which makes me really sad. I read Forget Me Twice, Forget Me Not, Forget Me Twice by Corinne Taylor. I really, really loved it, so I was very excited for this. But right now I feel like I'm just kind of underwhelmed. I feel like it's giving fall vibes and I feel like I'm going to enjoy it just in general, but I feel like it's not going to be a favorite. So like Can't Help Falling by Courtney Walsh, I didn't absolutely love, but I generally think the fall vibes were there. And so I'm feeling the same way about this one. This is a Best Friends to Lovers, which I feel like I'm going to also enjoy more because I just love Best Friends to Lovers. So underwhelmed right now, but I'm excited to keep reading and I want to be able to read or recommend closed door book recs for the fall. And also I've just been really excited to read the series because it's like it's all set in the same town. I'm gonna read this tonight. Hopefully I'm gonna finish it. Anyways, I'm gonna stop looking at Kingdom and oh my goodness, I haven't updated my reading journal. Should we do that together? Okay, I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna read. Guys, it is currently 11:21. I just finished Easiest Pie. I fell asleep at one point. I don't remember when. But I have to say, it did not get any better. And I'm so disappointed. I was kind of forced, well, I wasn't forcing myself, but I definitely wasn't enjoying myself, which makes me so sad because I really loved Corinne Taylor's last book and she was so kind to like include me in her art team. Like I signed up to be on her art team and stuff. And I'm so thankful that she like sent me this book. But I feel like just in general of the series, the 2 books that I've read, I haven't enjoyed. And I feel like, I don't know, it makes me so sad because, I don't know. But I have looked at the reviews on Goodreads, the 2 that have been posted, and they both give them 5 stars. So maybe it was just me. I very well could have just been me. You might can enjoy this. Hello guys, it is the next day. Last night, I started another book, which I am shocked that I'm reading this book, to be honest. I didn't think I would ever read this book, but I started Binding 13 last night. I don't know what it was, but I was on TikTok. I think I was watching Larry Reed's TikTok about Binding 13. She was talking about a specific scene in the book, and then it got me on a rabbit hole of watching Binding 13 TikToks. And then I downloaded the sample on my Kindle, and then today I bought the book, and I'm 80 pages in. So the reason I hadn't read it and hadn't wanted to read it was the trigger warnings. Like I knew some things that were in the book and I usually avoid books like that, but seeing TikToks and seeing these quotes and these annotations, I was like, I need to read this book because it sounds so good and I need something that's gonna like slap me in the face with how good it is. Like that's what I want right now because I feel like I haven't had like an incredible romance book that I love so much in a very long time. I'm trying to think. Signed, Sealed, Delivered. The Duet. Loved both of those so much. I did read Wildfire. I talked about that in my last vlog and I really, really loved that book. It's probably like in a 4.5, but I really did love Wildfire. But I just want something that's like emotional. It's gonna like kick me and really make me like remember these characters forever. Kind of like I had with Crooked Kingdom, but just like a romance book. So I decided to start the book, see how it is. And so far I'm really, really enjoying it. I feel like I've gone into it with really good expectations because I know it's very long and I know that at the end of Binding 13, you have to go on to Keeping 13 to kind of have a completion for these characters. So basically it's about Johnny and Shannon and Shannon went to this school and she basically like leaves that school and enrolls in a different school, which is Toman College, which is a high school in Ireland because it's based in Ireland. And things happen at her old school. She gets bullied and she ends up at this new college school and she meets Johnny and then that kind of happens. I don't really know much more than that because it is very long and I'm very much at the beginning. I think on my Kindle it says 600 pages, so it's a pretty long book, but so far I'm really, really enjoying it. I feel like I have like a bit of an anxious feeling in my stomach waiting on like the shoe to drop because of the trigger warnings. Like I'm anticipating certain things to happen because I know they are going to happen, or at least I know the trigger warnings. I'm a little worried about that. We'll see how it goes and I'll keep you updated. I wasn't sure if I was gonna continue it or like read it in this vlog, but it's like cold, rainy Ireland vibes, which I feel like kind of gives fall vibes. So I'm gonna read it in this video and just give you my thoughts. I'm hopeful that I'm really gonna love it and go straight into Keeping 13. I just bought it on my Kindle because it was literally $5, so cheap. And I feel like also when you're reading on your Kindle, it doesn't feel as long as it is. Hello guys, I have not updated you in this vlog in a couple days. I'm also so sorry that my neighbor's cutting his grass, but I wanted to update you for this vlog because it is so loud. I've been reading Binding 13 and I'm currently on page 395 and I'm loving this book so much. Like when I'm reading it, I'm loving literally every moment of it, and when I'm not reading it, I'm thinking about it, I'm dreaming about it. It's a problem. It's a new obsession. So last night I almost bought the UK covers of the books, but I was like, no, I don't need them because I personally like the UK covers better than the US covers. The US covers aren't out yet, but they come out in like December, I think, November, December. But the UK covers are already out and they're like really bright colors, they're really cute. But I was like, no, I don't need them because I did obviously buy it on my Kindle and I'm gonna buy Keeping 13 on my Kindle. Anyways, it's like 600 pages, so I'm currently 64% through the book and I want to finish today, so we'll see if that happens. I'm about to sit down and read for a little bit, but I am loving this book so much. It is so good, but there's definitely like triggering topics and sad moments, so I would check trigger warnings before you read this. I'm eating up every moment of this book because it's so good. Like I love these characters and I love this like the friend groups, and I feel like these characters, honestly, I feel like when I was going into it, I was expecting it to be a little darker. And I definitely don't think it's like the happiest book in the world, obviously. There's sad moments, but it is also so funny. Like there's one character in this book who is the main character's best friend and he is hilarious. I'm like giggling reading his like things he says. It's just so funny. And it's also, I personally liked knowing this before going into this book. So I will tell you that this book doesn't have a happy ending. You have to read Keeping 13 to get to the happy ending. And they're both like 600 pages. So just do with that what you will. I'm literally loving this book so much and I'm shocked. I was not expecting to love it. This is the Boys of Tommen series, so there's currently 4 books out. Another book comes out in April, and then I think there's more books after that that are going to come out eventually. I don't really know, but the books that are out right now are Binding and Keeping 13 and Saving and Redeeming 6. I don't think I'll read those soon because these are very emotional and I expect that the second one's gonna be even more emotional, so I'm gonna need a break between, but I definitely want to read Saving and Redeeming 6 and then Taming 7 when it comes out in April. I cannot believe I'm on this train. I've hopped on the Binding 13 train and I'm here and I'm loving every moment of it. So I'm gonna sit down and read. I'm hoping to finish this today and give you a full review, but it's so good. I love the characters and I feel like the MMC is like a very protective character and I love that. But anyways, I'm gonna read some more and I'm so excited. Like I've literally been waiting all day for this moment to get to read more of this book because it's so good, so good. It is the next day and I have not updated you in a minute. Well, since yesterday. But I finished Binding 13 last night at like 1 in the morning and I immediately started Keeping 13. So that's where we're at. I think I'm going to take this vlog until I finish Keeping 13 and just give you a full review of both books. But it was rough. Binding 13, I don't even know what to say about that end. But because of that, I had to immediately pick up Keeping 13. And now I'm on page 175 of Keeping 13. I honestly don't know how. I feel like this book is reading a lot quicker than the other one. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But it's way longer on the Kindle. It's like 900 pages on the Kindle. And the first one was like 600 pages. But I felt like whenever I was tabbing through my Kindle, if you read on your Kindle, you know, where at the bottom it'll say the page number, but because like maybe the words are so big on the page, it takes multiple Kindle pages to make a full page. While this, I feel like every single page I'm clicking and it's going to the next page, so I'm thinking it's gonna take the same amount of time to read. I don't really know. As the first one, because I'm pretty sure the physical copies are about the same length. If this one's only a little bit longer, I don't really know. But That's what I'm currently reading. I'm about to keep reading it, but I would love to finish this soon, but I have 10 hours and 33 minutes left in this book, and you know, I just don't see that happening. Long books don't really scare me. Like, I don't really care if it's a long book if I just am really enjoying it. But when it's a long book, it takes so long to get to the happy ending that I'm like, how am I supposed to handle 10 more hours before I get a good ending? Which I'm hoping there's like somewhat of a good ending or like some happy moments throughout the book before we get to the end. I don't really know, but I can't stop thinking about these books and these characters. I don't know. I've been trying to get as much done today as I can before I sit down and read, because once I sit down and read, I'm not getting up until I'm forced to leave my house. So I'm in a lot of pain. It's a very emotional experience, but I love these characters so much. So I'm scared for what's to come, but I need to keep reading. So that's what I'm gonna do. So it is time to give my final thoughts for this video. Most of them I've already shared my thoughts, but I didn't really give a full review of Binding and Keeping 13, so I want to do that. I've had a few days to ponder, to think about it, and I'm having conflicting emotions because when I was reading them, I was loving them so much, and I feel like I binged them. Like, as much as you can binge books, they're like 600, 900 pages. I read them so fast, and I can't decide. Like, I almost think I binged them because I just needed to get to a happy ending, but I also think I did love the book so much, but I can't decide if they're 5 stars. Like, I almost think they're very close, but then I also think that they're very hard to compare to like any other romance book. Like, I feel like these are the saddest books that I've ever read. Personally, I do think the romance was so worth it, but the sad moments were so sad. But I am definitely going to continue the series. Like, I want to read Saving and Redeeming 6 and Taming 7 when it comes out, but it's probably going to be a while before I read Hi Rosie, Saving and Redeeming 6, because they are very emotional, and I feel like you need to prepare yourself for the emotions and the heaviness that are these books. Like, some books I feel like you'll read them and they'll be emotional, but it's almost a situation where you just have to like stop reading for a couple days and just let it sink in. But Binding and Keeping 13, I almost feel like I had to read something else to like recover from the trauma that I read. I don't know, does that make any sense? And now I'm like rereading a book that I love because it's gonna make me happy. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I would hesitate to recommend them unless you know like what you're getting into. Like, I would look up trigger warnings. I haven't said them in this video just in case you don't want to know, but you can very easily find the trigger warnings online. They're there for a reason. and they are very prominent throughout the entire, both books. Like, it's not a situation where you're just gonna get a couple scenes. Like, it's very prominent throughout the two books. Like, the trauma that the characters go through because of things that happen to them is a theme throughout the whole book, or both books. At first, I thought it was like a new favorite series, but as I've reflected and thought about it, I feel like it's hard to think that because of how painful they were, even though Magnolia Parks Universe, I love those so much, and those were very painful as well, but it's kind of a different pain when I feel like these scenarios are very real that people are going through, and so it just makes me really sad to read. The romance was so worth it. Like, the romance was so good, and I love these characters so much, and I love the found family, and I loved Johnny and his best friend Gibbsy's friendship. Like, it was so sweet, and I loved reading those parts, and I loved reading the happy parts, but the sad parts were so hard to read, which I've heard about and I was anticipating. So I feel like I went into it knowing that, but now that I'm reflecting, like, they were very painful and traumatic books. But I also feel like they're very important stories to tell because they are real. I'm so happy with how the series or the books ended. Like, it was a beautiful ending. The last like 100 pages were so sweet and so like sweet to read, but there was just a lot. It was a lot to read, so I don't really know what I would rate them. I've just been rambling at this point, but I did love them so much. And there were so many moments where I was like giggling and like laughing and smiling because they were so good, but there was also times where I was extremely sad. So I don't know what I'm gonna rate them. Maybe my wrap up I'll have a better idea, but I feel like it's hard because I can't compare them to any other romance book that I've read. So I feel like they're in their own category by themselves. I don't know, but I did love them so much. Like, I love the characters. I'll think about the characters forever, and I'm so excited to continue the series, and I'm so excited for Claire and Gibbsy's book. So, and I'm also excited to read Joey and Aoife's books as well. So that's kind of my thoughts. I feel like they were so scatterbrained, but it's fine. Now let's get on to the other books that I read in this video. So I read Crooked Kingdom. As you know, I rated it 5 stars. I love this series, this duology, and this book. It's just so good. Like, you have to read it. Easy to understand. The characters, you're gonna fall in love with them. The found family is so good. It was just incredible. Like, one of my favorite fantasy series now. And then I also read Easiest Pie by Corona Taylor, which is out when you're watching this. And I didn't love it. And when I don't love a book, I don't really like to talk about it very much. So I filmed like a review in this video and then just cut out all the footage when I was editing, because if I don't like a book, it just feels pointless to harp on the things I didn't like about it when I can just say I didn't like it. But I also think you should give it a chance. If you want a closed door fall romance, I think you should give it a chance, because just because I didn't like it doesn't mean you won't like it. And I have liked other books by these authors, so maybe it was just, or by this author specifically, so maybe it was just a me thing. So just wanted to say that, but that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I love fall content. I love fall vlogs. So I hope you loved seeing what I'm reading so far this fall. Let me know what you're reading, and I'm very excited for the videos to come. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon for my next video. Bye.